What's up there, DBF family? So kind of getting a late start today. It's been a couple weeks since I've dropped a video between work schedule and illness for the last couple weeks. It's just been super hard to get anything done as far as YouTube content. But today we're back at it, and we are on Paul Cox's Fab Rats CR500 aluminum frame build. And on the agenda for this episode is I'm going to try to get the steering stem bearings changed and the front suspension rebuilt and put on, and gonna get this thing in a roller. I'm pretty excited to show you guys the wheels that are gonna go on this bike. They are awesome. AJ over at Warp 9 built, designed, and put together these wheels for this bike, and they are I have some serious wheel envy. So that being said, let's get into it and let's get the front forks rebuilt for this project. So the first thing I got to do to overhaul these forks is obviously strip them down, pull the decals off of them because we don't want those on, clean up the external side of them, and then I'll tip them upside down, drain the existing oil out of it, and then we'll blow these things apart and go to resealing and rebuilding these things. Now, I'm not going to do a step-by-step on how to rebuild these front forks because there's probably literally close to 1 million different how-tos on how to rebuild and repair or reseal dirt bike front forks, from Showas to any other KYBs to any of the other brand of front forks there is out there. There's seriously, there has to be 1 million of them. So I'm not going to do that. We'll do a little bit of a time lapse. I'm going to show you a few tips and tricks that I do when installing the sills on it that have worked out phenomenally well for me over the years. But so that being said, let's get these things stripped down and tore apart and start cleaning parts up to go back together. So the next step is to pull the end cap off of this, or the valve, and tip these upside down and drain all of the oil, if there's any left inside of it, out of this shock body. And obviously, you know, like if someone brought this to you off of the bike, you know, you got to have a clamp to clamp this together so you don't damage this, because this, like this one, it's way over tightened. So what I'm going to do is go over to the frame, bolt this back in the triple clamp, loosen that up, and then take it off and drain it out. Oh, those had more oil in them than I would have thought. That's a good sign. Okay, we're gonna let those drain for, I don't know, hour or so, and then we'll tear them things apart. So while those are draining, I'm just gonna throw this out there. So before any keyboard warriors get out there and blow up the comment section about, oh, you should have revalved this, or you should have resprung this, or blah, 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 blah. I'm not gonna do that yet. I'm gonna rebushing it, reseal it, rebuild it with the factory valving that's already in it and the factory spring and spring rake that's already in it, because we don't know how this is going to react or what needs to be done after Paul gets some time on it. So we're going to let Paul get some time on the bike, and who knows, he may want a stiffer spring in it, he may want a softer spring in it, may want a faster valving, a slower valving, I don't know. So I'm going to rebuild this thing so everything in it's new minus those components, and he can get a feel for the bike, and then we can fine tune the suspension after he gets a little time on it. Holy moly, I'm gonna have to put that bad boy in a vise. Jeez. Holy smokes. Oh, yeah. That does not ever need to be that tight. Holy cow. Yikes. These fasteners are an O-ring sill fastener. So tightening them that tight does zero good. All they need to do is just be snug. So when you're putting this back together, don't over tighten them because it just causes havoc. So don't over tighten things. Just like that. Now I can reach in there with the wrench, break that nut loose, pull that adjuster off, and then this tube will slide off the cartridge, and we can pull the cartridge out of the body. That. Take the keeper out. Take the end cap off. The whole cartridge comes out of the fork body, just like that. Tip this over. Dump the spring out, just like that. Easy peasy. So now that I have the fork cartridge and the spring out of the body, the next step is to separate the upper fork from the lower leg. So the best way to do that is to take something soft that won't damage the lower leg, like this plastic piece, and you can do it with a screwdriver, but if you get in there and you nick this right here, you just cause yourself another leak that you're gonna have to repair, or have this recoated if it's bad enough. So I like to use these plastic trim tools. They seem to work pretty good. Let me see if I can do it one-handed. Reach in there and just work that dust seal out. I'll have to put this on the tripod, but just work that dust seal out, and then inside of there is a retaining clip, and then I'll show you how to get the inner seal out and the bushings out all in one shot. Just like that. Pretty simple. Now, if you look down inside of there, there's a snap ring. And the way to get that out is you reach up in there, pry that down. Sometimes you gotta get a pick in there. Just like that, and work it around. There you go. Now, in order to get the inner seal out, instead of trying to dig that out, I'm gonna push these together and I'm gonna pull them apart, kind of like a slide hammer. So just grab each end and just pull apart, just like that. And there you go. Inner seal, bushing, bushing. We're gonna replace all of those. So I'm gonna clean these parts up and go back together. I got all the new seals and parts and pieces laid out in the orientation that they go on the lower fork tube and inside of the upper fork tube. Gonna use a little Race Tech seal grease to slide them on with, and we're gonna use the old plastic bag over the end to keep the seals from getting marked up right here on these sharp edges. That's a lot cheaper than the fork seal bullet, and it works just as good. And I've been doing that for years. Never had a minute's trouble. So let's get going on assembling this thing. Well, there you go. Got the old fork seals changed on this thing. Those are what leak externally on bikes you see all the time. So I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the cartridge. And basically what this does is this is the shock inside of the fork. This doesn't hold up any pressure on these forks or anything like that. This is just basically the shock system of the fork. So I'm gonna go ahead, pull this apart where the valve is and change all the seals and the O-rings inside of there so it doesn't leak internally, and then we'll fill it full of oil and slap it inside of there with a spring, and this one will be done, and all we'll have to do is the next one. Perfect. Just the way we like it. Cool. Done. Cool. Well, good morning. So last night I was able to wrap up the other side of the front forks for Paul's AF500. So on this morning's agenda, first thing, I'm gonna pull apart the steering stem that the forks go up into, because this thing is not happy. It's all crunchy and the bearings in it are probably rusty and crusted and busted and what have you. So I'm gonna pull those apart and get those changed and hopefully get going on the cleaning up and final sanding and polishing of the frame to make it look all pretty and whatnot. At some point today, I gotta pull my 18500 in, because we're gonna go do a little riding tomorrow and we'll probably take you along for just a little bit of that. So let's get going on this thing. What are you doing? What are you doing? You just hanging out up here? You helping me? Good job. Supervising, huh? Oh yeah, those things are trash. They're no good. They're no good. Well, just like I expected, steering stem bearings they're shot. They're not in really great shape. Let me show you what I found. The lower has got a lot of water that's been living inside of it. So let me show you the lower race. See how rusted and crusted that thing is? So I'll go ahead, pound the races out of the neck and press the bearings off of the stem, and triple clamps, they'll be rebuilt. And then on to the next step. We're gonna start polishing the frame, but I've probably got at least a full day of blending and just cleaning up where we've cut and ground and before we're ready for that. So that being said, let's get these bearings changed. Take that. Aha. Gotcha. So there's the inside of the lower race. Yeah, I don't even think WD-40 would have fixed that one. And WD-40 fixes everything. So now that I got those out, I am ready to start cleaning that frame for the last and final time. So I'm gonna haul this thing outside and I'm gonna spray it down with degreaser. And while I'm doing that, I'm gonna try to finish taking off the rest of this. I don't know what this is. I think it's Plasti Dip they sprayed on the rear swing arm. So I'm gonna try the old oven cleaner trick and see if that'll finish taking this black junk off of here, because I mean, that doesn't look very good. We wanna be able to polish that up. So the reason I'm gonna do this before I put the steering stem back together is I want this thing immaculately clean, so when we go back together, it's perfect. So while the swing arm's outside soaking up the oven cleaner and kind of trying to get rid of whatever that coating is on the swing arm, I am gonna start smoothing out and polishing this frame. Let me show you what I got. So if you guys will go back in the other videos and watch, you'll see that this was the factory 450Y that we cut the neck and raised up. And when we did that, you know, we had to grind off a few tabs. It was like right here, and one was right here, and had to clearance it right here for the springs for the pipe. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a combination of a few tools. I'm gonna take a ream burr, a few buffing pads, and a DA with about some 320, 400 grit sandpaper, and hit it and just kind of, you know, smooth up the casting and where these were ground down and cut off, because, you know, I mean, it's, in all reality, no one will ever see it, but when we go to polish this thing, it'll just make a much better end product. So that being said, at the end of the day, by the time I'm done, this whole thing will be sanded down, smoothed up, no rough edges or anything. Not necessarily going to buff down the welds or anything, because we want to be able to polish those up. But yeah, I got a lot of time ahead of me of just sanding, polishing, smoothing. So I'm not gonna bore you guys with all the details on that, but I'll do a little bit of a time lapse here or there for it. I've been at this for about 2.5 hours, just sanding and wiping it down and sanding some more and sanding some more. So let me show you kind of what we got going on here. See how much smoother that is? That's with zero polish on it. It's coming along. Got a few little imperfections I want to get out of it, but you know, it's getting there. This is a very time-consuming project. I don't know how many of you guys have ever done this, but it takes a while. So I'm gonna finish this off camera. Once I start polishing it and getting some sheen out of it, I'll kind of throw a little bit of footage in on that. But for now, I've got to go mount the tires and wheels up for this project, because later today I got to get my own personal bike ready to go, and we're gonna go do some riding tomorrow, and we're gonna take you along for just a little bit of that. So I'm gonna go get the wheels broke out of the box, get the tire stand out, get the tires and the tubes, and we're gonna build some wheels for this thing. All right, check these things out. These are so awesome. Look at that. Oh yeah. Check them out. Now, here's the thing. I've been using Warp 9 wheels for years. I've got them on my 18500. We just put them on Jed's KX 500 that we just got done building. If you guys haven't seen that build, go back, check it out. That bike is absolutely beautiful. That thing turned out so good. But at any rate, Warp 9 wheels out of northern Utah. Long story short, I was looking for a certain look of a wheel. Got a hold of AJ at Warp 9, and he told me he wanted to build something totally different. And so I kind of let him run with it, with the idea of I wanted gold wheels. He built the black sprockets. These are their rotors, Warp 9 rotors. The thing I like about the Warp 9 wheels is they've got a beefier spoke to them, and these things are just unreal tough. I can't even begin to tell you how much abuse I've put on my Warp 9 wheels. But that being said, I mean, check them things out. Gold, it's got the blue anodized spoke nuts on it, the blue anodized fasteners for everything. I mean, these things, I have some serious wheel envy. I'm not gonna lie. If Paul doesn't like these things, I have no problem taking these from him and putting on another project. I think he's gonna really like them. So I'm gonna get the tire stand out, and let's see if I can get these things on without scratching them. We'll let Paul scratch them. I don't want to be the first one to scratch them. For the tire choice that we're gonna run on Paul's bike, I went with the Maxxis IT Desert. The reason I went with the Maxxis IT Desert is because this is the tire that I run on my 500, my 250, actually both of my 500s that I currently own. They wear exceptionally good and work really well for the terrain that we ride our bikes in. Like I said, these are a soft intermediate terrain tire, so they work for pretty much anything in this area that we ride in, from sand to black clay to rocky, slick rock kind of stuff. I've never had any troubles with these. Generally, I'm replacing the tire because it is getting old, dry rotted, and it's just not wore out, and it's starting. The only thing of it is after time, it will start to lose side lugs, but never because they're just flat worn out. Like these tires, been using them for years. Probably my favorite tire. Paul ran this exact same tire on the Iron Frame 500, so That's what we're going back with. Let's get this thing mounted. Oh yeah. That's an awesome setup. Love it. I can't wait to get that on the bike. Sweet. Well, this afternoon did not quite go as planned for me here in the garage. I didn't get near as much done as I would like to have, but I did get my 18500 pulled in and thrown on the lift, and was actually able to get it serviced and ready for tomorrow. Didn't do any filming on that because a good friend of mine showed up and we just sat around and BS'd, you know, like good friends do for the last few hours this evening. But as you can see behind me through the windows, it's dark outside, and we're leaving fairly early in the morning to go riding, and we're going to take you along for that tomorrow. And hopefully it's a great day. But I did get Paul's tires mounted on his wheels, and check these things out. Oh my gosh, these things are absolutely gorgeous. I can't even begin to tell you how much wheel envy I have for these things. Look at these. Look how pretty those are. I'm thinking that this bike might need those wheels. What do you think? You think the 018 needs some gold warp 9s on it? Man, Paul better be careful. Maybe he won't get these on his bike build. Maybe I'll do the old swapperoo on him. I won't do that, but I can get me my own. But I am liking the gold wheels, so I'm gonna go get my stuff, riding gear and whatnot, ready to go for first thing in the morning, and we'll see you guys in the morning. What do you think, Mr. Jacer?
Beautiful day, boys.
Isn't it great? I cannot believe the desert flowers, though.
Oh, dude, me neither.
Never.
I was trying to figure out what it was when I was pulling in, and then I got closer, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
It's nuts.
I've been coming out here for the 25 years of my life.
It's nuts.
And never seen it.
I know. It's crazy. There he is. Gentleman die.
Attaboy.
So, the guys that were hating in the comment section on social media that says we just build these bikes to make them look pretty and they're garage queens.
Yeah. Look at
Not true. Not true. Yeah, go back. We built that thing. Look at her now. Well, the deal is, come down off right there, come down through the wash, second gear, about right in front of us after this rough section, clip third, and just hammer it all the way up to Top Town. You'll have her. How's she running?
Good.
So what do you have to say about all the people that said, oh, these guys just build garage queen bikes and never ride them, blah, 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 blah.
Show me you riding.
I like it. I like it a lot.
They probably don't even have anything to ride.
Yeah, they're in their mom's basement playing Minecraft. But hey, thanks for watching though.
Yeah, I appreciate the views.
Well, here he goes. First time up the side hill. He's gonna go up that one, turn around, and come back. Love it. I don't know about you, but this is exciting.
Yeah, it is for sure.
I love it.
This is a big kind of a milestone hill. Honestly.
It kind of is. Like, I wish on camera
it was as big as it.
You could see how steep that side hill is. Like, it's just like, it's that hill right there. It's super, like, you'd have a hard time walking up that thing.
I wouldn't want to walk up it myself.
No. Let's see if he'll pull third. If he'll come down it in second and hammer it and hit third about midway, he'll be just fine. Hammer it. Not enough onion that go around. Oh no! Yep, looks like a garage queen to me.
Something. Yeah, he just needs a little more goose on her.
Yeah, just didn't quite have enough onion coming out of the hole.
My favorite part about this hill is it's a pretty easy bailout if you don't make it.
Oh, for sure.
Like, there's nothing at the bottom that's gonna kill you.
No. That looks soft.
You got her, Jetty.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Hammer it! Oh! Dang it! Wah wah wah!
He's too nervous about it.
Yeah, he's gonna get her though.
He's all up in his dome ski.
In the old dome. I'd say the chrome dome, but he's got a lot of hair on his head.
Hair. He ain't like us.
What are you talking about? I got a nice mop. Oh yeah, hammer it. Right up it. Oh no!
Dang it!
Yeah!
You were doing so good!
Wah wah wah! It did hook, and then it slid. It looked cool.
It does. It transitions right on the other side of that hump. It gets goofy.
Well,
Like
but
it's different than the rest of the hillside.
the problem of it is it comes up that ridge, and then it just drops, what, 2 feet?
Yeah.
And if you're not ready for it, you literally lose traction.
Yeah.
And that's what you get right there. I've done that.
A lot.
I've done that 100 times.
Me too. Me too.
Good job, Jedediah.
It hooked right there and it started a wheelie.
Yeah.
So I let off and that's screwed me.
Yep. You'll have that. Good though.
Felt good. Like I was getting it
No, you were.
at the bottom.
That
Yeah, that was
line.
good. That was a good line
right
for
there.
sure.
Just one of them deals, I reckon.
You gonna give her a whirl, Jacer?
I might as well give her a good old shot, huh?
Make it.
Yes. Don't let me down, Flex.
Come on, Flex.
Well, one thing about it, she's more aerodynamic without the rear fender.
Weight reduction.
Aromatics.
Aromatics, weight reduction, what have you. Coolant overflow hose just popping out.
Well, so I can see what's going on.
Yeah, I like it. There he goes. There goes Jason, give us a good show. He's always entertaining on this hill right here. It's great. I love it.
Is this the one that he did was it frog hop you called it?
The duck walk.
Duck walk.
Yeah, duck walk down the hill.
Was that this one?
Yeah, oh yeah. The old Flex 500's got in her today. Oh yeah! Nice work.
Oh man.
Perfect.
He almost. I thought he was gonna.
I thought it was gonna loop out too. Old Flex, she had it in her today. I guess I gotta see if I can do her now. I don't know. Good job.
A goofy one, dude.
That was a good one. We were both waiting for you to wheelie over right there at the
I
top.
was close a couple times.
No, I gotta try it because I can't have Flex outdoing me.
Well, Flex, you don't let a guy down.
Nope. Like a cockroach, you can't kill that
Can't
thing.
kill it. Oh.
Well, I guess it's my turn. Dang it.
Yes, sir.
I need better friends. All right, old 500. Don't let me down, old girl.
exact same thing I did on your first hit.
Yeah.
The exact same.
Really?
Look at your two
Like, look at our
lines.
two
Yours is
tracks.
the lower one.
Oh, that's funny.
They're identical.
That's funny. Well, so I clipped third up mid-hill, and I hit that bump, and it kind of bogged, and I'm like,
Yeah, oh shit.
so I hit second, I'm like, it's still pulling. So I got right at the top, it just feathered the clutch, and it like hooked and went. So I'll take it.
Oh yeah.
Good.
Second one was way good.
Yeah, that one was.
I just clipped her in second and let her eat, and that's a fun one.
I like this.
I enjoy it thoroughly.
Well, there was another successful riding day for the old DBF crew. Had a ball. I mean, bad day riding's always better than a good day at work, so can't complain there. But didn't get as much done on Paul's bike as I anticipated, but that's all right. We got lots of time to get that thing finished, but I'll get working on it this week, and we'll have a little bit more content for you next week. And as always, I appreciate every single one of you, and thanks for watching.
It's good. Uh-oh. Hey now. Wow, what a hole. After you, good sir. Nice work. Hey Jed, my garage queen got upset up there.
I don't want to do this.
Get it? Upset.